For years on this channel, we've preached that Scottish clubs should demand more for their talent, their future stars and their money makers. And today, on March 10th, Motherwell demand nearly 10 million for future star Lennon Miller. Welcome back to the channel. Rumours yesterday that USG, part of the Tony Bloom franchise, Brighton, Hearts, USG, you name it, well, 5 million was rumoured. Motherwell went, nah, we want nearly 10. And you know what? Fair play to them. The steel men are made of steel and not hee-haw.
Let's hope they are made of steel. Let's hope that they do not burn, they do not melt, they do not go down like a certain pair of towers. But, £5 million, can you enlighten us what that actually was?
USG were linked with a £5 million move in the summer, but the fact that Motherwell want nearly 10 tells me 5 million is no good enough.
I mean, could Hearts no buy him from that? Or
basically what it is, Brighton want to sign him, but they don't want to sign him straight from Motherwell in case he's not ready, so they're going to sign him for USG, and then once he's ready in the Belgium League, they'll sign him.
Could Brighton no sign him and then loan him to Hearts for a couple of seasons?
I mean, they could do that. Why not?
I'm just trying to think how we can get Hearts a wee better deal here. But yeah, £10 million.
Would Lennon Miller want that though? Would he want to sign for Brighton and go do like a 2-year loan at Hearts?
Well, if he's willing to stay at Motherwell beyond this year, then why would he not be happy to go to Hearts?
Well, apparently Andy Halliday's told him what clubs to reject. He told him to reject Udinese.
Well, I mean, Celtic will be on that list, surely. The only Scottish club that can afford them.
Aye, are on the list. But according to Football Insider, Motherwell will demand a fee of just under 10 million for 18-year-old midfielder Lennon Miller.
You know what? Well, fair play to Motherwell. I do think they're maybe perhaps being a little bit unreasonable, just due to the fact that after this season, he's got 1 year left on his contract.
Yeah,
it's like if you don't sell him in the summer, then you're not selling him all, are you?
Yeah, like, you know what? Why not? Like,
I just can't see many clubs paying this amount of money.
Why not? See if you're Lennon Miller, why not be like, here, I'll sign a year extension if I get like, if you give me £500,000 for the transfer fee.
Yeah, this is
something like that.
This is where the clubs get it wrong. See, Motherwell, they should be. Well, listen, they can say they don't have the money. I don't give a shit. Of course they do. Motherwell could offer Lennon Miller a bumper contract. Motherwell could be saying to Lennon Miller, listen, we want to sign you a contract extension. We'll double your wages, triple your wages. And that might seem like, oh, you're breaking the budget, or you're breaking the wage system that they've got set up, but you're going to benefit more, you'll profit more. See, by just getting this guy to sign a contract extension, you can probably easily add a couple of million onto, and his wages aren't going to cost a couple of million.
Yeah.
So you know what? Well, I don't know what Lennon Miller's on right now, but see if I'm Motherwell, man, I'm willing to double that, triple that, to get the guy to sign maybe like a 2-year contract extension.
We don't know what he's on. He could be on £500 a week. I doubt he is, but he could be. I mean, he could be. But I'd probably say about £1.5–2 what Lennon Miller's on.
Let's say he's on $2,000. You tell me Motherwell can't afford to triple that. Say, here, we'll give you £6,000 a week, and then just say, look, we still plan on selling you.
Yeah,
we just want to get more money for you.
Yeah.
I just don't see why more clubs don't do that. And
or at least ask the question of the man. Maybe they have, right? We're not behind the scenes at Motherwell. But for me, well, let's talk about the actual deal itself then. To me, it prices anyone in Scotland. I'm not saying Celtic don't. Celtic could spend 10 million.
They just will not pay a Scottish club 10 million.
Yeah. Like, no, like let's be honest, right? We're very critical. Like, let's, for Rangers example, right? Oh, why don't they just pay the money to get Suter and bring him in, 6 months early? Lyle Cameron. You know what? That makes sense because we're talking hundreds of thousands. But Lennon Miller, you're talking near 10 million for a guy that's got a year left. It's just no worth it.
And I don't even blame Celtic.
No.
It would be as good as I think Lennon Miller could be.
I think he would have to be the best player in the league for Celtic to pay this at Motherwell.
And he's good, but I don't think he's quite the best.
We can't turn around and say he's a starter in the midfield.
Yeah, that's another thing. I mean, can you honestly say that Lennon Miller starts? Is Lennon Miller at this point?
Is he better than Luke McCarron, who you bought for a mil?
Not at this point of his career. I don't think so.
That's the question you've got to ask.
Yeah, maybe in 2-3 seasons we'll be sitting here saying, "Oh, Lennon Miller's far superior to Luke McCarron."
Yeah.
But at this point, I would say Luke McCarron's probably the better player, and I just don't see Celtic spending £10 million to get a guy that's got 1 year left on his contract at the end of this summer, for him to be sitting like maybe 5th or 6th in the pecking order. And also, I think if Celtic did pay that money for Lenny Miller, then that means somebody's going.
Oh, aye, yeah.
And it would probably be by default, unless they get a big bid for Engels and they want to cash in. It probably means either Hatate or Bernardo's going.
Yeah. And
maybe Celtic might think they've got the best out of Hatate.
Maybe they will think that, but...
Because I think Hatate, as good as he is, I do think his form has been up and down. See, over the past... I mean, you can maybe argue even since Ange left, to be honest, Hatate's not been consistently.
Yeah, the odd moment of brilliance, but not... To me, it's ruled Celtic out. As for Leon, they've spent a lot of money.
Hatate, Hatate used to be the first name in my team sheet at Celtic in the midfield.
Yeah,
Don't know if he given that privilege anymore. He has too many stinkers. He has too many poor games.
He does. He goes missing. Quite a lot. But Leon, I think, could easily afford it. I mean, let's just talk about Rangers. Let's just say theoretically this 49er takeover means they can afford this. Why would you spend 10 million on Lennon Miller when the rest of the team needs surgery?
If they were going to get 10 mil, I think it would have been in that transfer window there. You've got... now listen, but see by the end of the season, maybe Lennon Miller will impress even more. Maybe his stock will go up over the next few months if he puts in... if Miller will get top 6 and he's a contributing factor behind that. I mean, who knows? Maybe Motherwell could sneak into a European spot. Like, things like that could increase his value. But I don't know. For me, if they're going to get 10 million, they would have more chance when you've got 18 months left on the contract. As soon as you get to a year, I'd be shocked if Motherwell get closer to 10 than 5.
No, I agree.
And I even think, unfortunately, with a year left on his contract, I think they would struggle to get 5.
I'd say 5 with a year left, pretty good business.
We just don't see that kind of money being dished out in Scottish football.
But see the fact he's 18, he should have more than a year left on his deal. Piss poor business for Motherwell, to be honest. But to sum it up for Rangers...
But yeah, and also, like, it's not like he's just out of nowhere being touted as the next big thing, so to speak.
Yeah.
For a while, so, I mean, Motherwell really, I think at the start of the season... see in January when he wasn't going anywhere, they should have sat down. And I don't... Oh, well, Motherwell can't, the wage structure and all this... Bullshit. You say, here, you know what, we might take a hit in the short term by offering him, 200% or 300% his wage, but in the long term, we'll recapture that when we sell him. That's what these clubs need to start doing, because we just see it way too often, man, that they either get peanuts or they run down their players and they get nothing. I mean, look at Dundee. Pretty much all their best players are out of contract this summer, and whether they move to... Here, they could move to other clubs for free, or they could just leave because Dundee's looking like they could potentially be relegated.
Yeah.
And Lyle Cameron's one of them.
No, he is.
Like, Lyle Cameron's a player that I feel like Dundee should have got good money for.
They should have, and they're getting hee-haw. But you look at him, Raskin, Diamonde, it's probably the one position of the field for Rangers where I'm like, yo, would Lennon Miller start? For me, he would. But... Is it the position in Rangers' team where I'm like, yeah, they need to spend 10 million on one player there?
I think Rangers' midfield's very inconsistent. I think they're all capable of having good games, but they're all capable of being utterly shite.
Yep.
Like Diomande can have good games, but he can also be garbage.
Yeah.
There's no like...
It's just not going to happen. Lennon Miller's leaving Scottish football. Not unless he sees his contract out and someone picks him up on free.
Yeah, I mean, well, look, we've seen a lot of players leave and go to Serie A and have good careers there. I think we could see something similar for Lennon Miller.
We'll see how it goes. But anyway, folks, that is it. 10 million is the price tag. Who will pay it? We'll have to wait and see. Till then, peace.